see. Yeah, we got, oh, she's back. She's back. Carmen, you back? Um, let's see if she can hear me. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
I don't
you.
know what happened.
I don't know either, but
Okay.
you're back. So great.
Okay.
Let's just take up
Okay.
where we left
So
off.
yeah. So let me try to think where I was at.
You were saying like, so we were talking about what would you tell somebody who
Yeah.
is going into the space and they're scared and insecure or
Yeah. Just don't get discouraged if you don't make a sale right off the bat, and just stick with the course. Like, keep representing yourself, keep pushing forward, and keep meeting people and making connections. Like, those connections are how you make sales. Like, I haven't sold my artwork personally to anybody I don't know. So, I mean, I'm
okay.
sure that's different for some of the people who are top, uh, top NFT sales. But like for me, it hasn't been anybody that I haven't made a connection with or hasn't really
Okay.
identified with my story. So I think like that's my best advice, is just like to, keep talking, and also realize that some collectors, like, they have a list of people they want to collect from, and they put you on a list, and they are going to collect from the top of their list. If you just got into that space, you won't be at the top, because there's
Right.
people that have been there for months talking about their artwork, that these people have heard and liked their story and put them on their list.
Right.
So, as they buy from the people coming down the list, eventually your name will come up, but
Right.
it might not be right away. It might not even be for your first drop. So I think like being patient with that and just keeping on it is just really important.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree with that. And I feel like, at the end of the day, again, an artist doesn't go into this space just for the solely purpose of, making money. Because, you know, as artists, I feel like we always want to sell our creativity first. Like we want to be sold on our creativity, We don't want to see it as just dollar signs. There was a room I remember where um, it was an NFT room. Everybody was talking about, different stuff. And this guy came on and says, I have a question. And they were like, what's your question? And he says, well, I want to know, I started, learning more about NFTs, and I created an NFT, and I want to know like what's next. And they were like, well, what do you mean? He was like, well, how do I make money? How do I make money with this? I need to make money with this. And I knew like they were going to come for him.
Yeah, right.
I was like, okay, keep going out. And then somebody was like, excuse me, sir, but you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
That was pretty much like, and they're like, oh, but they're like, sorry, wrong room. And then they like cut off his mic.
Yeah. Yeah, the NFT community, they don't want you to just be money hungry. Like, they want you to
No,
be here because you care about your art, and you have something to say with your artwork, and people care about that, like, at the end of the day, everybody is here, like, to some degree, because they want to sell their
of
artwork.
course, we want to
So
make a living. We want
yeah,
to
like,
make a living.
definitely, like, but to come out and say, I'm just trying to make sales, I'm just trying to make money, like, how do I make the big bucks? Like, it isn't what the community is about. The community is about supporting each other, buying each other's artwork. Like, all the money that I've made in the NFT space, I've spent on buying other people's artwork.
Very
Um,
nice.
and I think like that, or donating it to charity. So I think like honestly, like that's because I believe in the longevity of what we're doing. And I believe that in the future, this is going to be bigger than what it is now, even. And those artists will be bigger than what they are now. And I believe in investing in them, and their future. So, yeah.
You are a really amazing person, Carmen. Your work is very beautiful. And I could tell that you're very passionate about what you do, you definitely I feel like you absolutely have a sense of empathy. which is beautiful because we live in a world where that's just becoming more and more rare right now. Um, can you hear me? My thing just paused. Did I lose
Yeah,
you?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
It
my internet's been a bit shoddy, but I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and so it's such a pleasure to have people like you in the NFT space that is not only producing such beautiful work, but like you have so much behind it, you know, being able to create a conversation about mental health. Like you said earlier, you know, we should definitely normalize um you know, mental health, like wanting to, you know, do what we have to do to get the help that we need, or take it more seriously, because it's been, I can honestly tell you, like, especially in the Black community, it's been very stigmatized, you know. Me, my family's Haitian, and you know, in our culture, it's almost, it's laughed at. Like if I'm like, you know, I'm going through something, they're gonna be like, she's weak. You
Yeah.
know, that's the response that I've had to deal with. But rather than, you know, being bitter about the fact that, you know, culturally that's not how things should be taken care of, I figured, why don't I learn so that I can teach people around me that don't understand how mental health really affects us? Because the people that like, not, you know, the people that make fun of mental health are usually the ones going through it the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting you say that.
You know, when you see someone just, you know, dogging mental, oh yeah, whatever, whatever, they're the ones probably suffering really deeply with the mental health, and they just, but because they probably were told that being expressive about how they feel is weak, then they automatically dismiss that they should not talk about it because they are afraid that they're going to be considered weak, but it's not. You know, it's
Yeah.
actually being able to stand your ground and say, look, I care about my mental health, is actual strength. Because we just talked about before how, you know, being a people pleaser can, you know, can really like affect you. I posted something yesterday, and I think that some people probably took it a different way, but I posted some things that says, you're either suffering or the cause of
Yeah.
it, right? So I had a friend of mine, he texted me this morning, he says, are you okay? And I said, no. And I was like, you know, I was like, to be honest with you, I posted that because my kids, I have two daughters, and they were driving me insane. And my kids like to talk to me. They love, we have a really good relationship. They like to talk to me. But sometimes I'm like, stop talking to me. I don't want to talk right now. But then, but I don't want to do that because I want them to always feel comfortable. So
Yeah.
I got to silence myself, right? And I'm like, and then what I had to do is, instead of me, you know, I said, well, how can I deal with this and not make them feel like, you know, what they have to share with me is not validated? So then I would tell them, like, look, I want to listen to what you have to say, but I need like 10, 20 minutes to decompress, or I need a few minutes to just get my head together, and then I want to listen to you. See, when you change the conversation and then you're expressing to people, I want to hear you, but I'm not fucking ready for it right now. I can't do this. Give me a second. This is when you take your strength back. This is when you're respecting yourself and your space and your own mental health. And I think people have a hard time, you know, feeling like that's something that they can do. So before we wrap this up, share with everyone, you know, what it is that you have planned for the future, and what it is that you want to share with people that might be going through something. You know, just give us a nice little closing info.
Yeah, sure. I think my plans kind of for the future really are like, besides just continuing to create art, I really want to put my artwork onto merchandise. And my plan with it is to have scannable NFC chips in the sleeve that people can scan with their phone and pull up mental health resources. And
Okay.
I think, yeah, so that's like one of the big things that I want to do. And that's a little bit outside of the NFT space, but it is also linked to the NFT space because I'm planning on doing a bunch of NFC stuff with the NFT stuff
Okay.
as well. And then I have another like emotion monsters that are coming out as well. So those are kind of my future things. as far as people suffering, like, I think, like, it's really easy when we're in the really darkest, times um, to not be able to see that there's a light, that there is a way that things could ever get better. And as somebody who's been in really dark times and have now found myself to slightly less dark times, I think, like, it's just knowing that there is the possibility of getting better. There is a possibility of reaching a point where, like, you can feel okay. And I think a lot of that comes from trying everything. And by everything, I mean, like, try working out, try mindfulness, try therapy, try, eating healthier, try losing weight or gaining weight, depending on what your situation is. Try, like, taking breaks and taking care of yourself and changing the way you talk to yourself. Try absolutely everything. Try new hobbies, try as much as you absolutely can. Keep fighting, and eventually you'll find something that works for you. And it's not going to look the same as the person that your best friend who also had depression. You guys are going to have very different ways of dealing with it. You guys are going to have very different ways of coping.
Right.
And what works for her or him may not work for you. And I think, like, that's a huge thing to remember, because, like, I was so fixated on what everybody else did. Like, if I did therapy, it would just get better. If I did this, it would just get better. Like, why isn't mindfulness working? Because I'm broken.
Right. Oh no, I think we lost her again. Let's see. I might have lost her, but that's okay. We'll get her back. Well, we're gonna get her back in here, and okay, she should be back in a couple seconds. I'm gonna make sure that there are links so that you guys can see her work, because her work is absolutely amazing. Um, I want you guys to keep up with her. I want you to follow her, and definitely learn more about her, because she does amazing work. Okay, I was talking about you and all the cool things you do before you got here. Let's see. Can you hear me? You can hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you. I'm
Okay.
back.
All right, cool. Um,
Yeah.
I
Are
mine is
you
going in
able
and out too.
to?
So, but I heard everything you said. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, sure. You can check out my website, which is www.vjneurite, which is spelled neurite.com. Or you can check out my Instagram at vjneurite.com, or sorry, vjneurite, all lowercase.
Okay.
Or you can find me on Twitter, which is like at VJ, but capital V, lowercase j, and then capital N, and then EURITE. So you can check me out on any of those places. But
All right, cool. And then we'll have all of her stuff listed in the description. So you guys will definitely be able to follow her if you didn't get a chance to jot it down in the video. Carmen, thank you so much for coming on. I am like, it was really a pleasure to learn more about you. And I would definitely like to invite you back
yeah,
so
that'd be
that,
awesome.
to just see like what other new cool things you're up to. And I hope that we can, keep in touch. I'm going to go and spend the next 20 minutes looking at all your stuff on Foundation. Because
Yeah, and
I want
OpenSea. You should look at both of them. But
to, okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna, on OpenSea and Foundation, awesome. So I'll check both of them out. And do you go on Clubhouse often, or?
Yeah, I'm on there all the time. And go to my link tree, because the current pieces that I was talking about are actually the top link on my link tree, and they're different from my OpenSea. So I just want to
Okay.
tell you that.
Okay,
So
so the
because
link tree. Okay.
yeah, so go look at that, and my stuff on Foundation is also there. So yeah,
All right.
cool.
Well, we'll do. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, it was good to meet you. It was really nice. Thank you
Same
for
here.
having me.
No, same here. Anytime. You're always welcome to come back on. So until next
Yeah.
time.
All right, bye, girl. See ya.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys. God is Z, Love Soul 420. We are doing it again. We had an amazing person, Carmen. I am going to put all her information so that you guys can definitely follow her. Her her work is really cool, like really cool. So you're definitely going to want to keep up with this girl and all of the stuff that she does. And make sure that you go out and you buy one of her NFTs as well, because it's worth it. Trust me. All right. Until then, bye guys.